My forefathers are buildings in the sand. They left 1,000 ruins across the land. I love them deep like salt, they feel bitter on my skin. I believe in pleasure, they believe in sin. Listen to the crying in the street, all the lonely people that you meet. Children of the change caught like rats in a trap, but the little ones are dancing to the jukebox rap.
Hi, what's up? Thanks for joining me. During my research, I came across this book, freely available online in PDF format. And it was truly the most amazing book, and in a way, inspirational book that I have read in a long time. It wasn't an easy document to find, and if you would like to have a copy, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe and get in touch with me. I will leave my contact details in the description below. It is the diary of the Voortrekker Louis Trichardt, from the period 1836 to 1838. For the knowledge of a nation's history, there is no other document that we have today regarding that time that can even closely compare to this one. The Diary of Louis Trichardt offers us a rare glimpse into the 19th century and the interactions between different ethnic groups. Another great aspect of this diary is that it was written in the very early form of Afrikaans, when the language still had a lot of similarities with the Dutch language. Louis Trichardt was born on the 10th of August 1783. Now he got married in 1810 at the age of 27 with a girl 12 years younger than him. They had 9 children together and only 4 survived the track. His youngest died on the way to Delgoa Bay. We will have a look at that entry later in the video. In August of 1835, Louis Trichardt left his farm in the Cape Colony with 8 other families. Although it is believed that Louis Trichardt and Langhans van Rensburg traveled together, van Rensburg was actually a few days ahead of the Louis Trichardt track. While Louis Trichardt settled at the foothills of the Soutpansberg, Langhans continued onwards and followed the Limpopo River. Heading east and crossing the Limpopo River, they got killed by the Abagaza tribe, a Zulu tribe in Mozambique. Now don't for a moment think that these were the first white people in the Transvaal. From as early as 1820, the De Buys family also stayed close to the Soutpansberg at Mara. Towards De Buys had a black wife, and these were the same De Buys bloodline that were kept in a separate concentration camp in Pietersburg during the Second Anglo-Boer War in 1901 to 1902. Joan Albacini was a Portuguese trader, and he settled east of the Soutpansberg. At this time there was already a trade route established from Delgoa Bay in Mozambique to the Soutpansberg. The most common items to trade in those days were ivory and guns. However, the Groot Trek was different. According to native oral history, the Sangoma of Chief Papu from Zebedela at that time had a vision one night. He said, "I see ants with hats on their heads migrating here. They sit on zebras with sticks in their hands that spit fire. I see they travel with white houses, and their oxen are walking in front of these houses. You, my king, must do them no harm, and you will be blessed. But if you raise your weapons towards them, you will suffer greatly." Chief Papu received them friendly. They continued onwards to Strijdpoort, and here another chief received them peacefully, but warned the Magua of a tribe on the other side of Strijdpoort that would receive them very hostile. Magua is an African word that means travelers, and was used by the natives to describe these white people, the Voortrekkers. When the track arrived at the White Hill, they saw the natives just standing there looking at them. they just opened fire and the natives scattered in all directions. Now, I believe this was the tribe that stayed close to Marabastad. Just behind the fort, the British fort at Marabastad, there is a hill with a pure white ledge if you come from the south side. Now, unfortunately in this video I do not have the time to share everything with you, but let's have a look at a few entries. In December of 1836, Louis Trichardt assisted Rasetu, the chief from the Bavenda tribe in Blouberg, to get his cattle back. 19 December 1836. A commando of about 1,000 to 1,200 men under Rasetu and Mashal attacked the homestead of the red natives. They attacked with a lot of noise, jumping and whistling. Rasetu's men flanked the left side and Mashal's men the right side. The red natives ran into the bush and the cattle escaped as well. After some gunfire, they were retrieved. They used to refer to these people as the red natives because they use a red pigment to paint their faces. Now, there's a lot of times where Louis Trichardt assisted the natives like this. He had allies, and they knew the Magua would protect them against the Zulus. A few years before Louis Trichardt arrived in the Transvaal, a lot of small tribes were attacked by the Zulus and many were killed. During these attacks, many of the homesteads would have been completely destroyed and burned to the ground. Now, the relationship between Rasetu and Louis Trichardt can be a true inspiration to every South African. But although they were on friendly terms and had respect for one another, trust is not something that can easily be given away. Louis Trichardt never drank the first sip from beer when in the company of natives. Poisoning was a very common practice in those days among the natives. Remember, this was 1836. And they were still very savage and uncivilized. Some tribes practiced cannibalism. There was a Sangoma, like a witch doctor in every tribe. And because of certain rituals performed by the natives, they were referred to by the Voortrekkers as non-believers. On Thursday, the 2nd of March 1837, Rasetu informed Louis Trichardt what had happened to the Van Rensburg track. Apparently, a Zulu tribe, the Abagaza, or the naked natives, killed all the Voortrekkers. The Langhans van Rensburg track was a party of 4 families. They were attacked one night, and 3 of the families were easily overpowered. The remaining family was able to fight them off for a while, until they ran out of ammo. The Zulus then took the Voortrekkers' belongings to a nearby chief, Sakana, and Sakana ordered his men to return the items to the wagons again. They were very superstitious and did not want to be found in possession of the Magua's belongings. The site was east of the Limpopo River, near Sakana's homestead. Now, some sources indicate that the wagons with the bodies and belongings were then set alight, and all that remained was the steel rims on the wagon's wheels. It might also be possible, according to some entries, that one of Langhans van Rensburg's sons, a very young boy, was taken captive and the sole survivor of this attack. Now, in his diary, Louis Trichardt kept tracks of the weather, the amount of cattle and sheep, the mortality rate. He describes the environment, and it's amazing to read about the animals that roamed around the Transvaal in 1837. He describes the interaction between white and black and how they treated one another. One time, Louis Trichardt even carved a knopkierie for Rasetu and sent it to him as a gift. He would often send Chief Rasetu the skins of wild animals that had been hunted. But eventually, due to circumstances, they left Skumansdal and headed for Dalgoa Bay in, today it's called Maputo in Mozambique. From there, they would have taken a ship back to Natal. Thursday, the 29th of August, 1837, his youngest daughter died of malaria. She was just a few months old, and having no fixed home, she was buried in a field close by. On the 24th of September 1837, the track arrived here at Straitwoord. In his diary he writes how they travelled to the valley and still didn't find any water for the animals. Now these words are also engraved on the stone memorial that stands on that spot today. Along the way they travelled, numerous monuments had been erected. Some can be found in Kruger National Park among other places. This is one along the R519 road before entering Straatpoort at Zebedela. Now I presume the gravesite is symbolic for his daughter that died the previous month. Now Louis Trichardt passed away in October 1838 in Dalgoa Bay at the age of 55, and his grave can be found there today. In Maputo, Mozambique, a Voortrekker memorial has been erected in memory of the Voortrekkers that arrived there. A map out of small tiles depicts the route the Voortrekkers took. Now Louis Trichardt was a true inspiration, and I do encourage you to do some more reading on him. That is just a few things out of his diary that I wanted to share with you. Please give this video a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.